A few final notes about naming benzene derivatives. When you have 3 or more substituents on the ring, we need to have a way to figure out how to do the numbering. Now in these 3 examples, we've got these special derivatives of benzene, ones like anisole, toluene, aniline. And notice that in each of those rings, the number 1 carbon is the substituent that gives rise to that name. The anisole is because of this methoxy group, so therefore that's the number 1 carbon. In the middle one, toluene is based on the methyl group, so that becomes the number 1 carbon. And then you count around in either direction to give lowest numbers to the second substituent so that their numbers are as small as you can make them. And if you have 4 or 5 substituents, then those would be named in the same fashion. Now in this next slide, none of the substituents are special in the sense that they give one of these particular names like anisole or toluene. Nitro groups, halogens like chlorine, ethyl groups, and other alkyl groups, they don't have special names to them. So the basis of numbering these is just to try to get the lowest numbers in the name. And when you have substituents that are in these arrangements, both of these have 2 substituents right next to each other, and so notice those are the number 1 and 2 carbons, and then counting around puts the other substituent at carbon number 4. If the substituents are all right next to each other, then it would be a 1, 2, and a 3. But the other possibility is going to lead to you to use a number 1, 2, and 4 in the name. So you just number in whichever way allows you to do that. Remember that when we list the substituents in the name, we go alphabetical, which may or may not correspond to being in numerical order. That's true in this one on the right-hand side over here. The fluorine is the number 1 carbon because that allows us to use a number 2 and a number 4 in the name. But when we write out the name, E for ethyl comes before F for fluoro, and that comes before the N for nitro. So that's the basis of putting together the name in that fashion.